Press Enterprise, I'm Louis Amistoy, and joined by Dwayne Gang, our political reporter here. And kind of an interesting situation in Riverside County, which has long been the kind of stronghold of the CAL FIRE or CDF previously. And the county looking very hard at those costs associated with fire suppression and fire resources. But a new study says maybe CAL FIRE is the way to go for them. Talk about that for a minute.
You know, Riverside County is the largest agency that contracts with CAL FIRE for fire protection.
Right.
They serve all unincorporated areas of Riverside County, 19 cities, and one community service district. But earlier this year, as the county was talking through potential budget cuts, and they're still having some budgetary situations in the fire department, they were concerned about an administrative fee that CAL FIRE was charging. It's a fee that CAL FIRE charges to kind of administer the contract. That fee was going up.
Right.
Supervisors didn't really like that fact that they were going to have to pay more at a time where they were talking about possibly closing fire stations. So they asked for a study, kind of as some leverage to be able to put some pressure on CAL FIRE to find out what it would take to create and pay for a standalone Riverside County Fire Department. That study just came back and it went before the Board of Supervisors today. And what they concluded was it would cost about $46 million more a year to operate a standalone fire department in Riverside County. That would be a standalone agency that would also serve unincorporated areas plus those contracting agencies. In particular, there are some costs with staffing. Staffing might have to increase, as well as all those firefighters would become county employees, so the county would have to assume those pension liabilities for those firefighters' retirement. Not included in that $46 million is the county also concluded that they would have to purchase or build 3 additional fire stations to replace 3 that are currently owned by the state. They assume that those would go away if the county no longer contracted with CAL FIRE.
And presumably you can make the argument too, like a city like Temecula, if they're going to have to change service providers, maybe they take their own, since they pay for so much of their own equipment, maybe they take their own money and do their own thing at that point too, which is an interesting concept as well.
Certainly. And some supervisors believe this helped in putting some pressure on CAL FIRE, and indeed that may have been the case.
Right.
CAL FIRE did come back and tell the county that they will provide about $2.2 million in savings on that administrative fee this year. So that certainly is going to help the county out financially.
It's an interesting story with CAL FIRE because when you go on these big campaign fires, often you frequently see, especially in the unified commands, you see Riverside County Fire actually running a lot of this as well. So the expertise we have.
Yeah, they're a big agency, and to be clear, no one in the county or in this study ever looked at the effectiveness of CAL FIRE, which they all have said is excellent. They're proud of the county's fire department and CAL FIRE for the services that they provide. This was strictly a look at what it would cost if the county were to embark on creating their own standalone fire department, similar to what is in place in San Bernardino County and in Orange County, 2 counties that they used as a model on the costs.
All right, Dwayne, thanks very much for that. I appreciate it. I'll read more about what Dwayne's writing about in the politics section of PE.com. For Dwayne Gang, I'm Louis Amistoy for the Press Enterprise and PE.com.